So sales is a mirror, right? And it always will reflect who you are, not who you pretend to be. So you can study scripts, learn the techniques, rehearse every objection, but the moment you speak to someone who's truly searching for change, the mirror shows up. And if you haven't done the work, it will show. So what I mean by this, if you're watching this and you're already on a roll, you're trying to find your first role, doesn't matter where you are in the journey, but when you speak to leads that are genuinely searching to make more money, trying to lose weight, trying to fix a problem that they've deemed necessary enough to seek help. And you have to remember people that are asking for help, that's like the last solution. So they feel like they have no other option but to seek guidance. When they're coming to you, you must make sure that you are the person that they need to be themselves to reach their goals. Because if they don't see themselves in you, if they don't see, if you can't inspire them, they can't see the pathway based on the words that you speak and the conviction that you have, they're never gonna buy. So your conviction, your energy, your belief, it has to be real, right? You can't fake it. It can't just be, the fake it till you make it saying. I want to talk about that earlier, but all of that is bullshit, right? You need to be able to be the person that they need and also the person that you would need if you were in that person's scenario. Because when you're on a sales call, essentially, if someone says to you, I'm depressed, I'm not feeling good, what would you need to hear if you were that person? If you were depressed and you were anxious, what words would inspire you? What conviction, what would you need? Right. And the more you go through that yourself to speaking to these prospects, the more you're helping your own brain and you're helping your own future to avoid those scenarios because you're learning and you're taking the frame and you're teaching people what not to do or teaching them what to do. Right. And subconsciously, this is going back into your own head and it prevents you from falling into states like that. And if you do, because who knows what can happen in life, you'll know that if you've been able to help someone else get out of that position, you can get out of it yourself. So sales is a very much it's a lot deeper than just collecting a commission check and moving on. It's truly about helping other people, but also helping yourself. And in fitness sales, the mirror is brutal. It very much shows in more often than not in most niches. It's the most obvious mirror because you're trying to help someone lose 20 kg, build confidence, take control of their life. But imagine you're not in shape. You don't train consistently. You don't understand the difference between motivation and discipline. You don't live by the habits and that actually transform, someone's identity, right? How are you supposed to lead them? Like, genuinely ask yourself that question. Like, think to yourself, how are you supposed to lead someone when you can't even lead yourself, when you can't even push yourself, and no one around you believes in you either. No one around you feels like you can do it either. Like, your life isn't just sales one thing and then everything else after. It's all one thing. How your friends see you is also going to be probably how the prospects see you. How your parents see you is going to be how prospects see you. Like it all starts from your everyday move. Every day when you wake up, how do you react? How do you portray yourself? How do you move? And those things trickle down to everything, right? So you can't pull someone out of a mental hole if you never climbed out of one yourself. You can't coach someone on making tough decisions if you avoid hard conversations in your own life. And you can't teach commitment if you keep breaking your own word, right? These are all to do with real life. Have you ever been in a mental hole? Have you ever had a situation where you had to force yourself to boss up, to make a move, to improve? We've all had these situations, and if you haven't, it means you're avoiding it. You're not putting yourself in the position to grow. You're avoiding the hardships of life, and that is why you always have average results. If you want to be someone that's great, you have to go through adversity and you have to consciously, sometimes intentionally, choose the harder route so you can have these experiences that will pay dividends in the future. And again, sales will expose all of the people that skip these steps. And like I said before, the fake it till you make it is not real because you're not just selling a product, you're transferring belief. You're borrowing your own conviction and lending it to someone who doesn't have it yet. Some key phrase here is borrowing your own conviction. If you don't have the conviction yourself, you're faking it. You're trying to give it to the other person over the phone. They aren't gonna feel the genuine need to buy this from your words and your speech and your energy, because if you're faking it, it's likely that they're going to understand that as fake as well, right? That they don't buy because of the script, they buy because of your energy, because of your certainty in your voice, because of the truth and how you explain the solution, because of the alignment between what you're saying and how you live. So the best closers aren't performers, okay? They're practitioners. They lead from alignment. They show up prepared, not just for the call, but in their life. Their whole philosophy, all the best closers that I know, you can speak to them, and whatever they're talking about, it's intentionality, it is a calmness, and it's a well thought out response. It's never just saying whatever they feel like. Yes, all closers follow their intuition, and they let their intuition, dictate their moves. However, when you're training and you become an elite closer, you're basically working on your intuition. You're working on understanding and teaching your intuition what to say, when to say it, how to say it, because you're constantly reviewing calls, you're constantly reviewing your speech, you're constantly reviewing your process. And that is how you kind of rewire your intuition. So when you get that gut feeling or that gut sense of that urge as an elite closer, you'll be able to listen to it and go all in with it. You can trust it because you've built it over time. And the prospects on other side of the phone, they will feel that that was your initial gut reaction. They will feel like there was no script there. There was no this person trying to think it out, like it was just real. And that's what they're buying into, just that real instant response. And you have to build that by becoming the version of yourself and working on your speech, working on your mindset. So your gut and your initial reaction is just prone to give what's needed in any necessary moment. So don't just work on the script. Don't just work on sales. Work on yourself, because the version of you that the prospects wish they could be, sorry, become the version of you that the prospects wish they could be. So when they speak to you, they don't just hear your words, they feel the possibility. Because that's what closes the deal. No persuasion, no pressure, no fake hype, but alignment, clarity and belief. So reflect yourself back through the mirror and make sure you are the person that you say you are, and show up in a way that's going to provide you the results and help people change their life.